like your life is spiraling out of control, that unseen forces have always been against you, that other people, not you, control your life, well, then you need Pasley Rule for Life number 4. You are responsible for everything that happens in your life. You are. No one else, nothing else, only you. And furthermore, you won't be happy in this life until you fully accept this fundamental reality. When I was a small child, I grew up in a very poor neighborhood, and many of the people there had the same mentality that there was nothing that they could do about their situation, nothing at all. No matter how hard they worked or how many jobs they held, they were always going to be poor, and that it wasn't their fault. They were born poor, everyone they knew was poor, and everyone they would ever know would be poor except for their bosses, and their bosses inhabited a realm of wealth and privilege that was locked out for them. They blamed racism, wealth inequality, and the privilege of others on their situation. Now, these things existed then and they still exist today. But the problem was that they didn't feel they could do anything about it. They felt that they were powerless, and so they gave up and they never tried to escape. And they taught their kids the same thing, and they taught their kids the same thing. And so a whole cycle of generations of poverty were created. I was taught this too. I was taught that there was no escape, that the best I could do in life was to get an okay job somewhere, maybe meet a woman and she has an okay job, and we could eke out a halfway decent existence. And like everyone else around me, I bought this, I believed this, I lived this, I embodied this. Life was the way it was, it is the way it is. It's not my fault, and there's nothing I can do about it. This lack of taking a responsibility followed me throughout my life. And when a relationship would go bad, I would say it was her fault, not mine. When my bills didn't get paid, it was because my job didn't pay me enough money. When the car broke down, it was because whoever made it was stupid and they sold me a lemon at the dealership. Nothing was ever my fault. I was raised with the belief that things are just going to happen in life, things that are not my fault, controlling and manipulative forces that will carry you away in directions not of your own choosing. Then, somewhere along the line, I came across a concept known as radical responsibility. And I discovered that we are choosing. We're choosing all the time. In my video on 10 truths that everyone should know, I touched on this concept briefly, but it's so powerful. I thought it needed a deeper dive because radical self responsibility is about ownership. It's about ownership for all your wrong decisions, all your right decisions. It means accepting total responsibility for your life. And I don't just mean the parts of it that you can control, but your entire life. Now, this notion often makes people very uncomfortable. After all, what about all the people who have hurt you, who've turned on you? The bad people in your life who have made you into the person you are today? What about the abuse you may have suffered at the hands of some vile predator? What about the lies and the deceit others have inflicted upon you? What about what he said or she said, or what mom or dad didn't do, or what an old teacher told you you'd be when you grew up? Or how about that old friend or that ex that betrayed you? Like it or not, all of this is on you to deal with. Look, I need to say this. It's crucial to note that radical personal responsibility and total accountability should not be seen as a way to dismiss systematic issues that have occurred in your life or societal barriers that may hinder you or people you know from individual progress. And there are many who argue that while personal responsibility is important, that it's unrealistic and unfair to place the entire burden of success or failure solely on the shoulders of individuals. These people stress that factors such as socioeconomic circumstances, access to opportunities, and systematic inequalities greatly influence one's ability to exercise personal responsibility, and that expecting everyone to have the same level of agency and accountability ignores the vast disparities that exist in our society today. Look, I get this. I've experienced this. But life ain't fair. The people who hurt you are not coming back to save you. No one is. No matter what you think, we have only limited control on how others choose to treat us. And with some people, we have no control. Neither do you have any control over nature or random acts of chaos, like a tree falling on your house or a tornado whipping through your neighborhood or a random burglar choosing your home. All we have is accountability to how we react to these events because we have the power of choice. We can choose to become embittered and whiny, a victim of external forces always holding us down, or we can learn to rise up over our negative circumstances. The events in your life all hold meaning, but you must decide what they mean to you. They could mean defeat or education. You're the only one who can control your life, and no matter your circumstances, you have more control than you think. You have responsibility because only you have the ability to respond to the events that take place in your life. I believe in radical personal responsibility and total accountability. I believe that taking complete ownership and control over your actions, choices, and the outcomes that you have created in life is the only thing that can give you power over your life and the power to shape that life. Above all things in this world that you must do, you must hold yourself accountable for every single consequence of every single decision you've ever made. Don't make excuses or deflect blame on the others. You have to actively seek solutions to rectify any harm or damage you may have caused to yourself or others, no matter your intentions and no matter the circumstances. This is a harsh reality, but it's just part of existence on this planet. Maybe on some other world it's different, but not on Earth. If you do this, if you really commit to radical responsibility, what comes with it is a sense of personal power that can't be duplicated in any other fashion. Becoming completely self reliant and gaining the ability to become resilient will give you the most unwavering of integrity. And that integrity will allow you to become aware of the impact you have not only on yourself, but others. And with that realization will come a sense of peace you have never known before. Because you will begin to realize the actual control you have over your existence. If it's insecurities holding you back from taking personal responsibility, go watch my series on defeating personal insecurities. And if you like this, give me a like or a subscribe. And above all, have a wise day.